Have you experienced the revolutionary new way of quilting? If you haven't, stay tuned and find out how it will change your life. Hi, it's Donna Robertson with Fabric Cafe. Now, I mentioned the revolutionary way of quilting. In 2013, I wrote my first book, and it was called Quick and Easy 3-Yard Quilts. And very few people had ever heard of 3-yard quilts, and that's primarily because I think I might have been the first one that decided that I wanted to use 3 yards of fabric to make the quilts. And the first fabric is the focus fabric. It goes in the number 1 spot. The second one is the lightest remaining, and the third one is the darkest remaining. So we have decided to revamp and bring out the second edition of 3-Yard Quilts, and we have jam-packed so much new information in this book. It's been out of print for about 5 years, so if you've wanted this book, now's the time to see what's in it and order it. So let's look at the first quilt. The first one is called Puzzle Me This, and as I mentioned, your focus fabric goes in the number 1 spot, so that's going to be this, any place that you see this particular fabric. The number 2 is the lightest remaining fabric. You will compare these two to get light and dark. And so this one is made with grunge from Moda, and it's gorgeous fabric. Now, I love the way that our quilter quilted this one. See how we have these blocks joined with this darker line? So we've done this, she's done the same thing here, but she used circles with a line joining this. I love this. Now, on the back of this quilt, we have another grunge, and this is the Donna's Pick backing. So if you want this backing, when you order the kit, you can also select Donna's Pick for the backing, and you'll have exactly what we're showing you here. Let's put this up on the table, and we will talk about why 3-yard quilts revolutionized the whole quilting system. We made it super simple, and every pattern I write uses those 3 1-yard cuts. You've got a focus fabric that is signified by a dot. You've got a light and a dark when you compare those two. So here is the fabric we used for this particular quilt. The number 1 fabric is this great, it has little gold accent dots on this, really pretty. You take that number 1 or focus fabric out of the equation, compare these two, and you have light and dark. And the light will go in the number 2 position, the dark in the number 3. Then, if you are interested in this kit, it's 8021788. Hits the Spot is the name of this kit. It's the pattern Puzzle Me This, and it's from this brand new book, Quick and Easy 3-Yard Quilts. So the next kit that we have for you, this one is Friendship Star, and this one has this has been the favorite of many people in the office. We always have this little thing going on saying, which quilt do you like best? So we want you to tell us which one of these you like best. All of these fabrics are brand new. Has this gorgeous floral fabric here, and we've got a gold swirl, and then the background is this great tan. So let's see, put this one up on the table, and look at that fabric. So this one is called Golden Gazebo, and this is the number 1 fabric. It's going to go in the number 1 spot, and then your number 2 spot is, when you compare these two, it's going to be your background, so you can really see the design element of this particular quilt. And then this is your number 3, and I love that gorgeous gold swirl. Now let's look at the back of this one, because this one is another Donna's Pick, so you can choose this one if you'd like, and it's a beautifully coordinated fabric to go on the back of this quilt. And again, Lucinda does a great job with her quilting. This is 8021784, Golden Gazebo. Friendship Star is the name of the pattern. It's out of the book, Quick and Easy 3-Yard Quilts. Now the next one is called Spools. And Spools is kind of an old-fashioned quilt block that we designed for the 3-yard quilts, and it's been such a popular one from that book. So we used the two more dominant colors here, with the background being the white, and it really does show how the number 2 fabric is important to cause your design to go forward. And I'm especially in love with this particular one because this is one of my new fabrics that I curated with QT Fabrics. Let's put that one up here on the table and look at the fabric for this. Now, whenever you're choosing your fabric, usually your largest print is what you're going to put in the number 1 spot. So this is the number 1 fabric. It's going to go here, and we used it in one of the spools. The number 2, as compared with number 3, that becomes your light fabric, and then the darkest is your number 3 fabric, and that really causes those spools to pop forward to have that bright white in the background. Now, I love this line of fabric. It's called Enchanted Garden, and if you'll look, you can see how the little words on the fabric say love, joy, and peace. I deliberately worked hard to get those words on the fabric because I love fabric with words on it. I always say it, you can say it with a quilt. 8021774, Spools of Love. Spools is your pattern. It's from the book Quick and Easy 3-Yard Quilts. Now, the number 1 thing about 3-yard quilts that was so revolutionary was the fact that you could take 3 1-yard cuts of fabric and you'd be able to make a nice size quilt. You've seen the sizes of these quilts, but what happens if you were to wanted to make it bigger? The book gives all 3 sizes of the patterns. So if we'll look at this, we're going to show you how you have instructions for your lap, the twin, and the king queen. Now, when I first wrote this book, I did not include those instructions, so you would not have gotten the instructions for making your quilt larger, but now you will have all of those instructions. So let's look at this one. It's called Happy Go Lucky. It has been such a popular fabric with the caif, and we loved this fabric. We loved it. We ordered the sample fabric so that we could make quilts, and we had so much fun making, as you can see here, the lap size quilt, and it took 3 yards. But what if you wanted to make a twin size? Then you would need 2 kits or 6 yards of fabric, and look at the size of that quilt in comparison. It's amazing how much bigger it is. I mean, it's hard to even believe that it was just 3 more yards of fabric. We give you the instructions for doing that. Now, one of the things about this particular quilt, let's put it up on the table so I can talk about the fabric. We ordered 3 yards of sample fabric, and we used every bit of that fabric. We used 3 yards each. So we used 1 set of fabric for this, and then we used 2 sets of fabric to make the other. And now we have none to show you up close, except it's already made into a quilt. So the number 1 fabric is this, the big flower. You always put your number 1 fabric in the largest spot. And then you have your light in the background. So this is your number 2 fabric. And the number 3 fabric is here as your accents and as your border. So we didn't have the fabric to show you, but we want to tell you how you can get this. It'll be in any day now. Is you want to visit fabriccafe.com. You'll want to search on the name of the kit or the kit number, and we will send you an email whenever you click and say, send me an email. Now you're going to have the information here is 8021-785 and Kaleidoscope Floral. Happy Go Lucky is the pattern. Quick and Easy 3-Yard Quilts is the book. And the alternate pattern, because it's not available an individual pattern right now, is It's a Breeze. Okay, the next one that we have for you is called Rail Fence, and we did this one with batiks, and it is just stunning. I've been showing you fabrics with the gold touches. These actually have a silver touch to them, so you'll want to take a good close look at this. It has silver on this, and the little veins that are running through this. This one is absolutely gorgeous, and we do have Donna's pick. Would you like to show the back? This is the Donna's pick on this. So it's kind of a wintry, a little bit of an icy look to this particular backing and to the front as well. Let's put that on the table and talk about the fabric. So we have this gorgeous fabric by Robert Kaufman. Isn't that pretty, pretty, pretty? I just love that silver touch to this one. So that's your number 1 fabric. It goes in the number 1 spot. The number 2 fabric goes in the number 2, and you can see that real pale blue back there. It's almost like you can see snow coming down. Love it, love it. It would be cooling even to see this quilt up in your house in the summertime. Cool off a little bit. This one has a little of the silver on it as well. That'll be your number 3 fabric. Now your number for this one is 8021789. Midnight Frost. Rail Fence is your pattern, and it's from the book Quick and Easy 3-Yard Quilt. And that was a Donna's Pick backing, so if you want that fabric for the backing of your quilt, just add that to your order when you order the kit. The next one is called Picture Perfect. This one is a go-to pattern for a lot of people that did have the first book. So you have a large block, and then you have a second block that's been bordered, super fast to put together. And this is some gorgeous new motif fabric that we do not have in yet, but we will be getting it hopefully any day. So this is another one that you can get notified when the fabric arrives. You'll just visit Fabric Cafe, put in the kit number, and say, yes, notify me when it arrives. So this is the fabric up close. It's got birds on it. It's a really traditional fabric, but absolutely gorgeous, and absolutely gorgeous. The focus fabric, this is a good example of, okay, which one's light and dark? The focus is actually going to be the darkest fabric in the quilt, but because it's the largest print, I put it in the number 1 spot. Then the number 2 and 3 are compared. You will get your lightest for your secondary spot, and the red, it becomes your last or your 3rd position. Just remember, you've got exactly the same amount of fabric in each position, and you can put them in any position as long as you cut everything that we say. On this one, it's 8021786, Vintage Aviary. Picture Perfect is your pattern. Quick and Easy 3-Yard Quilts is the book. Okay, this one is Pinwheel +1. And Pinwheel +1 really needs that light back here so that you can get that high contrast and see those pinwheels. And I love this one because it has a border for each one of the fabrics, so you can see that as well. Little touches of gold this was one of those shows where just about everything has gold in it. It's just, or silver. It's gorgeous. So that little bit of gold on the edges of the flowers. And let's show the back of this one. Yes, this one is a Donna's Pick as well. So we do have this fabric available. But look at these great butterflies that Lucinda used in the quilting. It's absolutely gorgeous. So let's put that on the table. And your fabric, you have this beautiful chrysanthemums. Isn't that gorgeous? And that little bit of green, so that backing will really pick that up. The backing has the green and a little bit of blue in it as well. So this is your number 1 fabric. It goes in your largest block. Your number 2 is the little splatters of gold on that white. It really does a great job of causing your pinwheel to pop. And then your fabric number 3 is the blue that's going to go here and in your pinwheel. This one is available now, and your kit number is 8021787. Regency Garden is the name of the kit. Pinwheel +1 is your pattern, and it is from the book Quick and Easy 3-Yard Quilts. Now this next one is another motif that we're expecting in any day, and it is gorgeous with these soft blues and grays. And the pattern is called Byzantine Door. Now this is a great one, even if you had your number 2 fabric with another print. This has a subtle print, but you could very easily show off 2 prints if you wanted to with this, because it has this nice big block. Let's put that on the table and look at the fabric. So this one, we've chosen our largest print, which is the lighter of the florals. There's another floral back here, but it was the darker one. This one was a little bit larger, so I chose it as my number 1. The number 2 fabric is the gray that's going to go here. And then the 3rd fabric will be your sashing, and it's also your border as well. This one is really, really nice. And this one is 8021442. Somerset Blues. Byzantine Door is your pattern, and it is from the book Quick and Easy 3-Yard Quilts. Now this one is not in yet, but once again, we like to get those sample fabrics in here and have a quilt to show you, so that as soon as it comes in, you'll want to get that. So just visit Fabric Cafe, click on the button for the kit, and say, please notify me when the fabric arrives. And as soon as we put that inventory online, you will get an email so you can make a decision about purchasing it. So this is Donna Robertson, and just to recap, you'll want to get this new book even if you have the first version. This is the 2nd edition, but we did add those upsizing. We rewrote the patterns so they're in our more current style. So those of you who love our later books, you're going to love this one as well. And you can get it free if you buy 3 quilt kits. You can skip the little patterns and you'll get the book free. And of course, with 8 patterns in it, that's a really good deal to get the whole book free. So it's Donna Robertson with Fabric Cafe. Hope you'll subscribe and give us a comment. Click the thumbs up as well. And we'll see you next time.